All right. Huh. We certainly saw something.
We don't know what the fuck it was.
Oh, I know exactly what that was. That was... That was me saying, as bad as, like, Violet will probably hate the Brothers Grimsby, I'll at least be like, well, I mean, it wasn't the perfect match. God damn.
Nothing perfect about that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Perfect product placement.
Oh, between Uber, Apple, those, like, wheel hoverboard things that people use when they don't want to walk.
Nikon.
Yeah.
Several artists get named.
Fatburger.
Fatburger.
They go on a first date to Fatburger.
I had a theory. This movie was like a Ponzi scheme. I think it paid for itself in product placement. And that is why it is such a perfunctory piece of shit. Perfunctory piece of shit.
God disagrees.
God's not dead and hates this movie too.
This movie made Think Like a Man 2 look like a movie.
This
is the kind of fucking writing that, Jesus Christ.
We'll get this figured out.
It's really tricky up here because it feels like it should be staying.
Yes. Let's try that. But no, guys, we're not kidding. I think at one point I said if you remove the fucks and change the races, this felt like a fucking Lifetime movie.
Is it Lifetime?
It was... We saw one pretty shot when he was over the sink.
Uh-huh.
And this is from a former music video director.
He directed the Honey trilogy. That's a thing.
Yeah, which I did not know was a thing.
He directed fucking that Addicted that came out in 2014 and made such little impact that his name on IMDb for that still says just attached. For a movie that's already been released
Nobody's
and put out in
bothered to
theaters. What the fuck?
They've updated the Kickstarter information about the sequel to Manos.
Yeah.
And they haven't updated that.
So it's shot on Shitio as well. It's updated about as much as... Fuck. The writing in this movie is so bad that every line feels like it could be follow up with, whoa, hold the phone. And then the way every scene in this movie ends feels like the next scene should pick up with, well, that could have gone better.
Yes. You know how in movies when they want to convey comedy and they're hacks, you get that plucky, jaunty
hijinks
music.
Or how about when any attractive woman walks into this movie for the first time, doesn't matter the race or anything, it's still just like the mariachi, like,
yes.
What in the fuck? Like, I know that music. That's when Antonio Banderas first sees Salma Hayek
and Desperado.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. Have you seen Boomerang?
Yeah.
You feel like taking a shit on it?
Yeah. Yeah, this movie sucked.
This did not feel like it. Here's how I could tell this movie's not very well made and doesn't belong in a fucking theater, because if I directed this movie, there are many scenes that would look exactly the same. Which means if you're watching it on a computer screen or on a tape, that's fine. Shouldn't be in a fucking movie theater.
He pointed out, they care so little, you can see the pixelation.
You can see, yeah, if someone's wearing just like a dark shirt or something in the scene, and then it cuts to them just digital pixelation all over their clothes, the lighting's not matching up or anything. Again, this is I've seen this before in the kind of movies I make, micro-budgeted shit.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I've seen opening credits say special appearance by.
Yeah. Oh, Robin Givens, by the way.
Yeah, she's in this.
Because, you know,
it's Boomerang.
Yeah. Basically, it is Boomerang. But
it is totally Boomerang.
Minus the charm, minus the humor. I think I laughed. There was one joke I laughed at. The wedding cake.
And I was like yawning during that, so I missed it.
He missed the one funny joke where, because this guy's character is, he's getting married and it's costing too much.
Uh-huh.
We don't even know his name. That's his character.
Yeah,
everybody's an archetype. Nobody's a character in this. I think I actually challenged him to name more than 2 characters halfway through the movie.
Eva, Charlie.
And then the Brandy character that we instantly forgot.
I forgot about. She's in this for a scene.
She's in it for a scene to play some flighty actress
that has to be literally carried everywhere.
And how much you want to bet if we look up Billy Woodruff's videography? He probably directed some Brandy videos. And that's probably the only reason she's in this goddamn movie.
He directed one of the Bring It On sequels. That was another one that he did. Goddamn, the ending credits for this look like the ending credits when you see, like, an old Zoolander short. These are the ending credits for, like, the little funny, like, what did they do here to fill the time on the MTV Movie Awards?
Yeah.
This movie came out 10, 15 years ago. Two things. One, it'd be an MTV original movie.
Yeah.
Two, would be starring Bill Bellamy. That's better casting than what they have here. The guy in this, like...
Charisma vacuum.
Say what you will about Boomerang, but I buy him as a ladies' man.
Yeah.
I buy him as a charming guy who could have friends and function. The guy in this looks like if you... he looks like if Terrence Howard had a deformed twin and this is him, and he looks a little more like Steve Buscemi.
And also doesn't sound like a Truman Capote that grew up in the hood. Mm-hmm. Because that's Terrence Howard.
I loved it. At least Terrence Howard could be intense. It's like he could talk like that, but wow, he could kick my ass in a second.
This movie, and biggest ass air quotes.
Yeah.
I think at one point I said, we're just about to have a series of unconnected events that come to some sort of resolution.
Every plot in this movie is only a half an hour's worth of plot, which makes sense. You put them all together, it's just a half hour's worth of footage for every fucking couple. It's 3 sets of plot. Fucking dude's a womanizer, says like, all right, man, I'll tell you what, I can make it to the wedding with the same girl. Okay.
Yeah. Literally that kind of sitcom plot.
And the one guy is like, what? I didn't think weddings were going to be expensive. $6,000 for a cake. Huh? And then there's Donald Faison and his girlfriend. And he's like, well, they're having trouble like with the pregnancy thing. They've been trying for like 7 months. His sperm came out okay. Maybe there's something wrong with her. Nah, by the end, she's pregnant. It all works out fine.
Yep.
They get married. Fuck, when the guy gets dumped by the girl and he becomes an irredeemable asshole.
An irredeemable alcoholic asshole.
Yeah.
He had shown no signs of being this kind of dick to his friends.
Uh-huh.
And no alcohol problems. The minute he decides he was in love with this girl, and spoiler alert, turns out the hookup he was with was getting married all along. Suddenly, he just becomes the biggest fucking jerk on planet Earth.
Not even to the point to where you buy any kind of forgiveness here.
Yeah.
Like, especially the one in this movie, which just amounts to him just showing up at the wedding rehearsal and being like,
"We forgiven.
Yeah, we cool? Yeah, man, of course we're cool."
Yeah. Even though you said shit that I know would lead to, like, permanent disbarment.
Like a huge fight.
This is the kind of shit that gets you kicked off. You get juice.
It's the kind of shit that gets your ass kicked. And it was like his birthday party. I didn't even know it was his birthday until that scene.
Yeah, there was no foreshadowing for that shit either.
Yeah.
And of course, that was during his 3 days of consistent drunkenness.
And you know what? Like, they're trying to equate what he's doing with what the girl is doing, in which she's engaged and cheating on the guy. And I'm like, you know what? Not really, because he's not cheating on anybody.
Right.
He's a womanizer. And he hops from...
And he hurts a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
Although it sounds like his game is he lets them know from the get-go, no strings, no nothing.
Yeah.
So you silly women, you gotta stop falling in love when we men tell you not to.
They have such little chemistry in this movie that I'm not buying he's in love with her. I'm buying that he just misses having sex with her.
Yeah, it literally pops up out of nowhere that when he discovers he can't fuck her no more, then he's in love.
Yeah.
And then suddenly so in love that his life goes into a tailspin. He starts fucking up at work. Boomerang.
Yeah. It's Boomerang.
It is Boomerang.
It's Boomerang, and it's thin line between love and hate if she didn't turn out to be a stalker halfway through the movie.
It is both those things, and it is neither of those things. This is the anti-movie equation.
Not even Thin Line, because Thin Line Between Love and Hate was, I don't remember being that poorly made of a movie. I think it's the only one Martin directed.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it being...
Probably for the best.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember it being necessarily poorly made, but at least that had an immense amount of talent involved in front of the camera.
And Bobby Brown.
Yeah, that's right. He was the best friend in
Yes,
that.
he was.
Wasn't Regina King the girl in the... That's right.
Yep.
I saw that in the theater with my dad.
That must have been an interesting viewing experience.
I don't think we were like the only ones there. In this, there was kind of a crowd in there.
For a first night crowd for a new black flick in a black neighborhood.
I stood out.
At one point, he looked around like, I think I'm the only one.
Now, I didn't say I think. I said...
I am the only one here.
Well, it's official. I think I said, well, it's official. I'm the only white man in here.
I did find him some Samoans or some, Puerto Ricans afterward.
How about the sleeping couple?
Yes! I pointed these two people. There was a couple passed out on each other. And I was
right
like,
fuck to sleep.
That's all you need to know about this movie.
I'm sorry, the audience was tolerating this movie. They weren't really talking that much in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the conversations we heard weren't about the movie.
No, not at all.
It was like that talking you hear in between the jump scares and Paranormal Activity 6 when they're waiting for the video to get to the point where the timer slows down.
And they laughed.
Sorta?
I mean, they laughed more than we did, but they didn't laugh enough for me to be like, oh, well, the audience is enjoying this more than I am. Like,
it felt like we were all like doing community service.
Yeah.
And we were all just waiting for that shit to be over. And eventually, this guy over here, though, as we're sitting there, and I'm trying to riff it to keep him interested, but at some point, I just heard him just kind of crumple down and just go,
I don't even know what part that was.
I think it was day 3 or 4 of the Drunken Asshole review.
Was it... Like, did some stupid form of product placement happen?
It might have been.
I remember going a couple of times because of a couple of puns in it, or even just like the little moments like...
I think it was when his sister even...
Oh God, okay, I know exactly what it was. This movie expected you to fall asleep during it, because every time Paula Patton's on screen, okay, first of all, them being brother and sister, my ass.
Yeah.
Like, okay, one of your parents is different.
Yes.
So, anyway.
What was that line in Under the Cherry Moon? Butterscotch? Chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two are not related.
No, not in the fucking but that's why they have to keep reminding you every
that we are brother and sister.
Is like him going, hey sis, hey sister. Well, as your sister,
hey little
as
brother.
Your brother,
hey little brother.
Same with everything. Like, well, since our parents are dead.
Yeah, that was the part that got me though. That came the hell out of nowhere. They brought out the dead parents trope, like 60 minutes in, and acted like it was a plot point to the point where they show him go to the grave and drop off some flowers, and then now let's move on with more plot.
I hesitated to get mad. I hesitated to really harp on missing a certain plot point, like, because I'm like, for all I know, they did address this, and it just went in one ear and out the other. Like, maybe they did. I don't know. No. But they bookended it with something they were really banking on me remembering. In fact, I didn't remember it. Like, you leaned over and told me.
Yeah. They literally introduce a very minor character at the beginning of the movie that is not given nearly enough precedent for you to realize that this character may return. And when they did, he didn't even know.
I'm like, I don't know who this is. I was honestly like, okay, I guess she was mentioned earlier. I don't remember where. I don't care. I was like, does she know fucking Joey Pants? He's in this.
Joey Pants is in this. And
this is sadder than when he was in The Identical. At least The Identical, if he was doing it for shits and giggles, I get it. This looked like he owed somebody a fucking favor.
He either owed somebody a favor, or my personal theory, there's this ethnically dubious guy. We couldn't figure out what the fuck he is. He's the one that's on the hoverboard the whole time, and he plays the jerky new executive type. But he sounded so much like a Puerto Rican Joey Pants that I told him I think that's his illegal mulatto, and that's the only reason why Joey's in the
Guy
movie.
looked like Clifton Collins crossed with Brad Gorski. Like any minute he's gonna come annoy my ass in front of the old Blip videos. Look, I just need to find this old clip of mine.
Oh, no.
It's a Brad world, and we're just living in it.
No. Just put your ad block on and, look at...
I don't have ad block. That's bad karma.
No, if you put your ad block on and then for 60 seconds Blip tells you, sorry, you're using ad block.
Oh, I didn't mind that.
We won't let
I
you
like
see
seeing
that.
people get mad about that.
No, this movie's a piece of shit.
This is awful.
After a while, I had to stop riffing. I couldn't even...
There was
they
nothing.
Were giving me nothing.
There was nothing. Like, this is the kind of movie you find on Netflix and don't watch.
Yeah. And if it does have 4 stars or more, the producers are doing it.
This has the filmmaking quality of that fucking Dancer and the Dame Canine ripoff from Pureflix that I watched a fucking month ago.
Oh, my apologies on that one, by the way.
Oh, didn't you also see David A.R. White play a heavy in an action movie?
Oh,
that was convincing.
I can only imagine.
Jesus Christ. The title doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
This is the perfect match. We're going extinct because there's no lover chemistry left. They would end up together at the end of this. At the end, he calls the married couple the perfect match.
Yeah.
So I guess the title is about this couple that's in it for 15 minutes.
It's beige the movie. I was telling him that beige and taupe. That color you have
Code
anywhere
beige.
code beige. Because Lionsgate is not even being subtle anymore, folks. This is their division called Code Black Films. It's like they're literally looking at you and saying, "We got you, dog. We got you."
Maybe it's for the couple of white people in the audience who wanted to leave. Like, oh, honey, I didn't know we were walking into a Code Black situation.
We better just stay calm and pretend like this shit is funny, honey.
Is it too late? Tickets are 10 Cloverfield Lane. Speaking of, when I went out to use the restroom at one point, the 10 Cloverfield Lane, one of the theaters, from the time it looked like it had been on for an hour. So there was a guy who was leaving that theater just running to the bathroom so he could walk back. Like, oh, dude, I was in your shoes a couple hours ago.
Whereas any excuse to go to the bathroom in this movie would have been a good one.
Fuck, how long was this movie?
I believe an hour and 40 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
And it felt like it had 30 minutes of material, badly handled, but technically 30 minutes of material. Stretched out for 90, 100 minutes.
There is not a single good line, good performance, good, fucking...
Donald Faison's totally wasted in this.
Totally he's the only one who seemed like he was giving a shit.
Yeah.
Joey Pants was sitting there, really moody and grumpy, and it feels like he was like that in between shots.
He was pulling a Willis.
Yeah.
He was like, just sign the check, motherfucker. Don't expect me to perform.
Can we talk about the obvious no nudity clause in
Yes,
this?
oh my God.
The sex comedy?
The sex scenes.
Wow.
They literally looked like they were shot in 2 takes.
Yeah.
And they dissolved between the 2 takes. Let's put it this way. There was more passion and artistry in the sex scenes in the room.
There's more passion on the poster for Temptation. It looked like that snake was really into that apple.
There's definitely no nudity to the point of where I was looking for the tape.
Yeah.
To cover up her tits.
It's ridiculous how they're covering it up. Arm, hair.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
Arm, hair. When they're sitting there, her hair is like she's fucking Eve from the Bible. Hair just dipped over. It got into an Austin Powers level of covering up the nudity.
He was like, this is comical how much they're doing. R-rated, by the way, but only for
This is an R, just for them saying fuck.
They made sure to say fuck more than once.
Robin Givens looked good.
She did in her totally worthless cameo. That seemed to only imply, remember when I was married to crazy-ass Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Because she was a wedding planner who clearly was venting out her problems with marriage on the wedding party. She's in it for about 3.5 minutes.
Just at the end.
She gets a chuckle out of the audience and then she's gone.
Yeah. I mean, she was trying.
She was trying.
She made the most of her 2-3 minutes.
And I think they could afford her for exactly 2 hours.
Oh, God.
Because they clearly shot her stuff in the span of 2 hours.
You know what the worst performance in this movie was? The tear on Paula Patton's face.
Yeah. I had said, I bet you somebody just eyedroppered it and then said, action.
It was bizarre because the way she was acting, it's not the kind of acting you do when your character is crying.
Right.
In any kind of crying. It's not. She just continued on delivering her lines regularly and just I was like, does she have Samuel L. Jackson's eye from Kiss of Death? Did I miss something about this character?
Now, if we could have got Nick Cage from that movie let loose in a flick like this, it could have.
Fuck yeah! The only thing that could have saved this movie is if one of them turned out to be deranged halfway through. Whether we're talking like Michael Ealy from fucking Perfect Guy, Lynn Whitfield from Thin Line Between Love and Hate, something.
Anything. Mediocrity at its finest. As I was telling him about,
this is mediocrity. This is awful.
Yeah.
I
think he's right.
Like this is
mediocrity is praise for a movie like
mediocrity. At least looks like something that would be in a theater.
Yeah, this does not look like a film. Their TV shows look better than this.
I've seen Pure Flix movies that look better than this, and Pure Flix movies do not look theatrical.
I honestly, a complete lack of interest or effort from almost all parties involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was when we walked out. I literally called this pandering the movie. Even that's a compliment. This panders to nobody. This pandered. I can't even find the words.
What about like we can mention this until I had like 5% battery, so we can run out the light at this point.
Right.
What about like those fucking trailers that we got where I swear to God, like okay, we got Boo, a Medea Halloween, which is the fucking fake Medea movie from Top 5 with Chris Rock, where it was like Medea's haunted house, and the tagline was "She ain't afraid of no ghosts."
Well, as you know, Poe's law now states that when reality becomes so warped that you can't tell the difference between reality and satire, that is Poe's law. Mm-hmm. Poe's law gave us Boo, a Medea, because apparently a producer said, you should do that, and he said, yes, I should. And neither of them got the joke.
Dude, the only reason we got Turtles 2 in front of this
is because Tyler
Perry is in it. That is the only reason. Every trailer in front of this, we got the trailer for a couple of things that looked less theatrical than this movie.
Meet the Blacks. By the way, guys, it's a Purge spoof.
But also is taking place in the in the universe of the Purge?
Yeah. None of the marketing thus far has indicated this at all. And we mean that's not like a 5-minute spoof in it. The whole preview is Purge shit.
It takes place during the Purge.
The actual Purge.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling and also timely.
Wouldn't that be something if this was an official Purge movie? Like it's such an anthology series that at this point it's a comedy.
It's like they did with the Clover. It's like what you want with the Clover.
Yeah,
it's the offshoot.
Yeah,
it was what was happening in the other neighborhood.
At least we got one good movie tonight. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane was like a really good version of the Italian in name only sequels.
Oh yeah, no
this is, but like fucking Meet the. So it's this year's Meet the Spartans. That's exactly what that is. Only if Meet the Spartans actually like took place in the continuity of 300.
Yeah, it really, it was mind-boggling as we were watching because we were like, oh, this is just like a little skit in the movie, right? And then the preview just keeps going, and you realize, no, that's the plot of the movie.
It's like how Haunted House was the movie version of, they really liked the Richard Pryor is scared for no reason sketch from In Living Color.
Right.
Let's do that for a whole movie. No, I just want to watch a 30-second sketch. That's funny.
Then we got, what was it, when Tyrone met Kyoto. Remember that one? The guy marrying the Asian chick and his wild parents.
Welcome to the Family?
Whatever that was.
With what's his name from Dream On?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Darren Wilson from Dream On, apparently still in movies.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Cool, man.
By the way, that was a Red Band trailer. We didn't know. It didn't show Red Band at the beginning, but they were saying shit and
That
stuff
was
like
the
that
first trailer we got, and I couldn't tell if, like, is this, like, are we still in, like, the behind this, like, the...
Yeah, we thought it was a TBS preview or something
Yeah.
until they started cussing.
Yeah, I was like, or is this, like, a Fathom showing for, like, something that's only getting shown one night?
And then it ends at the end with the two black parents telling the kid, show her how you lay it down, because they walk in on them when they about to do it.
Oh! Now you'll never know how Welcome to the Family, because that shit's not coming to Springfield.
It ain't coming to, and if it does, you know who he's going to send to see it.
Not me. I'm gonna see that. All right.
Well, let me get him, Hope. Till the next time.